This episode of Beyond the Closing is brought to you by First United Land Transfer.
Hey everybody, this is Lizzie from First United, coming to you with another episode of Beyond the Closing. With me today, I have Shaniya Barrek. Shaniya, go ahead and tell us where you're from.
I'm from Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Valley Partners. It's so much, so I get it mixed up sometimes.
That's okay. Now, how long have you been there?
I've been there only for about a couple months, since the beginning of the year.
Okay, so I do want to backtrack real quick. I know we just started, but this is an authentic Meet the Realtor. We literally just met a week, was it on Friday?
On Friday.
Well, okay, we just met on Friday,
only a couple
and
days
it's
ago.
Tuesday. So yeah, this is a true Meet the Realtor. So thanks so much for joining me to come in and have some girl talk today. I appreciate it, of course.
Girl talk.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect, especially like on a cooler summer day like today. Hence the big sweater and everything.
I wish I had a sweater on.
That's okay. Next time. It's fine. So I'm just going to dive right in then and just tell me what made you want to get into real estate?
Okay, so a lot of people, obviously, the money sounds great, but I wanted to learn more about investing, and I thought, what better way to do it than working in the field? But what really struck me is I knew that I wanted to be in business no matter what kind of business I was doing, because when I was younger, my mom had a Mickey Mouse rotary phone, and I would take her desk and I would put it in front of the bedroom door, and I would put that phone on the side, have some papers, scribble all over the papers, put some signature lines, and I'd pick up the Mickey Mouse phone and I'd be yelling at my assistant why my papers weren't on my desk 3 weeks ago when they were due, and have her come in and she'd be signing the signature lines that were just a contract of scribbles, and she would just laugh about it all the time, but I always had a blast just working in, playing business when I was younger.
That's amazing. That's actually, the best scenario ever. I used to play teacher when I was younger.
I did that, too. I'd force my little siblings to sit and just make, equations on the board and be like, who wants to solve this? And they get so bored.
Right? That's exactly what it is. I would have, math papers printed out, and I would make my sister, who's 6 years younger than me, solve it, and I'd be like, no, this is not how you do it.
No, I did the same thing. My mom, when she was in this one apartment, she had a little cutout window from her kitchen to her dining room. So we would play cafe sometimes too. And I'd serve her food. It was funny.
So you always knew you had some sort of
business.
Yes, exactly.
Business instincts. Yeah, she'd give me Monopoly money for the cafe food. It was so funny.
So you've been preparing for this for your whole life then, and you didn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so how long have you actually been in real estate, though? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I've only been in for a couple of months. It hasn't been long. I've only worked with one client so far, rental clients, and it's definitely hard to get your business going because you have to put yourself out there. You need to get people to know you, and it has been difficult, but I am working as hard as I can, and during those quiet weeks where I don't have anything going on, I fill it with different things that are helping my business.
So will you do different open houses?
Yes.
How do you put yourself out there?
Every weekend I try to get an open house. Sometimes I'm not so lucky. I just did an open house this past Sunday in Allentown. House was beautiful. It was so cozy. I'll do my graphics. I told you about that.
Yeah.
I will go, when I'm driving, I drive all over the place. And when I'm driving, I see different places. And people love to get out and go places, do stuff, be out in public and not inside all the time. Mm-hmm. So knowing about these places is so helpful. And I want my Instagram to be a resourceful place where someone can go and, look up. And I have highlights where each town, there's stuff you can do in each town. You can click on the highlight of where you live or a place you're going to and see what's all in there for you to go to. Obviously, it's still in a working progress, so there's only a little bit on there. But if I have the time or if I'm in the area, I'll go in, check out the place myself too, or I'll meet someone there and have coffee, lunch, smoothie, whatever, and I'll see the place, get familiar with it, and then I can actually promote it a lot better when I know what it's like to be in there.
Well, that has to help you hardcore when you're helping future clients, though, because you're literally familiar. You're forcing yourself to be familiar with the different areas.
Yes, I'm getting familiar with it for literally anybody who comes across my Instagram page or just knows me personally and can just go on there and be like, oh, I know Shaniya has stuff about Blue Mountain in the Poconos, which I have family that lives up there, so I'm always up in that area. And they're like, let me check in there. I have a whole graphic of all the summer stuff that Blue Mountain offers and all the prices, because you have to click through the website to find all of that.
Oh, really?
So I clicked through all of it, wrote down all the prices for everything, and put it in one graphic so people can just go click on it and see, how much does that cost? I want to go do that.
So you're doing the hard work for them. And will you do that through, so you said Blue Mountain, like what are some other places that you have?
I did do also Blue Mountain has like a nighttime, what is it called? A course,
Okay.
a rope course in like the trees. And it is so cool. They have neon lights and it's so beautiful. I did that as well. I did do events for 4th of July. I listed all the locations that I could find in the Lehigh Valley that were doing fireworks and places that were just doing like cookouts without fireworks so people could choose between fireworks and no fireworks. And then I also did the farmer's market in my town, Nazareth, where I live.
Oh, you live in Nazareth?
Yes.
Everybody knows this. I live in Nazareth too. I always talk about it on my podcast, so I won't go any farther than that. But that's awesome that you did the farmer's market because a lot of people don't know that it's there unless you're from the area. So that's
I didn't even
awesome.
get a chance to go because I was always busy on Saturdays and they would end right when I'm not busy.
Well, and when does it officially end? Isn't it coming to an end in the fall?
I don't know when I think
It's
closer
coming,
to
like
fall.
for the season, it's coming
Yeah.
to an end soon.
I just know for sure that like every Saturday that it was on, it would end at 2, and that's like the one time. That's right as I'm getting off from like a part-time job they do in the mornings, or getting back from like a yard sale I did with my best friend.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's okay. Well, there's still some time before the summer ends that you can go visit and everything.
Yes.
So what where do you see yourself in the future? Like, what are your goals, like, within real estate? To continue to be an agent, or, like, do you want to venture off from that in the future? How do you see yourself?
I would love to like move up, but at the same time, I love being an agent. I like working with my clients hands-on. The idea of being a broker sounds nice, and my broker loves the idea of me becoming a broker for him and opening up an office like closer to where I live, because the offices that we have are Allentown, Emmaus, and Ambler, and he wants more. And he thinks that, hey, in a few years, Shaniya can get a broker license and open up an office in Nazareth or something. But I like the idea of that. It does sound cool, and I love my brokerage, so I would more than be happy doing that.
Yeah.
But I also love being an agent because I'm meeting clients, I'm going out, I'm taking them to houses, I'm laughing with them, I'm getting to know them. It's so much better, and I love it. And I think I just would be okay with just being steady with my real estate.
Yeah.
I do obviously I want more people to know me. I want to work with more people, but just staying as an agent and not moving up in the like title wise, I'm okay with that.
See, since you're just starting off and everything, I mean, I think it's good to have goals always, like never to be stagnant. Like that's one thing I stress to my son constantly. Don't ever be stagnant, always have goals. So it's good that you do see yourself, whether or not it's, becoming a broker or just staying an agent, but just excelling and increasing your revenue and just making yourself the resourceful agent like you said you wanted to be. I think that's phenomenal that you have that goal right there alone. So, especially with the holidays coming up, you can, list where the different Christmas lights are and everything.
Yeah, because I kind of had the idea that not a lot of agents are they're helping you in that kind of sense. They're helping you get your house, but they're not helping you learn about the area or, like, helping you make things a little bit easier with where you're moving. And for people who aren't even working directly with you, I have friends and family, they're going to think, Shaniya has that on her Instagram, I'll go check it out. And it kind of just reminds people I'm in real estate because they're going onto my account and they're seeing all that and putting the work out there to get to know the entire Lehigh Valley, even the Poconos included. And they're going to remember that. And they'll be like, you know what? I want to work with her.
Without just saying that you're an agent, with not trying to, force feed them that information, but to just be overall.
I'm showing what I offer, only a little bit of what I offer right there. Before you even work with me.
Phenomenal. I'm looking forward to being able to find out where to go to look at the lights for my kids and everything. Because that right there in itself is a whole process of, okay, well, where am I going to go? Like, what route am I going to take? Because we make a night of it. So
yeah, I'll put the 4th of July graphic I did, I put the name of the place it was at, the town it was in, if it costed money or not, how long it was. And you just look it up and see how, where it is, and you can get there right there.
But you really went in depth and did the work.
I'm very nitpicky about my graphics too. I want them to look cute and just not like colors all over the place and crazy. I like my colors colliding.
Sure.
So I'll sit there and I'll be changing it up. I think every time I work on a graphic, I'll start somewhere and it'll be completely different by the end.
Now, how long does it typically take you to make graphics? I do them as well, so I know.
Sometimes I have to take breaks in between because I get bored of sitting there for I'll be there for an hour or two and I'll just get bored and have to take a break and go get a snack or something.
it can be time consuming. Like the thought, and people don't realize how much thought it really takes to just put it all into action, you know, especially when you have all the different options that you have to really build something.
When I'm working on my laptop, it's also different from when I'm looking at it on my phone. So I'll do it on Canva, and I'll look at I'll get the Instagram story template, and once I download it and I get it on my phone, then I can actually see what it looks like for someone looking at it on their phone, and then I have to go back in and make changes because either like the words are way too small or something's off, and it just
like it doesn't collaborate.
So I have to go back in and fix it because it's different on my computer versus my phone.
Right. Well, it's a trial and error part. It sounds like you have it down packed, though. I mean, like, because I've seen your Instagram, and you have quite a few different
highlights.
Highlights that you have and everything. Can you name some of those highlights? Do you remember?
I have Nazareth, Easton, and Emmaus so far, and then I have Lehigh Valley events and Pocono events.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that you had the events. That's right. Yes, that's pretty.
That's where I put, like, in the Pocono events, that's where I have Blue Mountain, what they're doing for the summertime, and then I have the 4th of July and the Farmers Market and the Lehigh Valley events. So it's just stuff that's going on right now that you can go do. And then in the town highlights, I have, like, places you can go visit.
Oh, so nice.
I'm working on one for the coffee shop that me and Christian went to in Allentown. So then I'll start an Allentown highlight for that one. But I have, like, a plant and coffee shop that's in Nazareth. I have a escape room place I saw in Easton when I was with my friend Jasmine walking around, and I thought that was cool because it's kind of like hidden in an alley. You can't really see it, so you have to be walking around to find it. And then I did a coffee shop that she told me about. We passed. I did that. That's an highlight. So it's just places that you can go visit in those town highlights. And then I also do events if I know what's going on.
So the places that you come up with to do these highlights, do you just happen to stumble upon them, or do you do like the research to figure out where you want to go?
Well, for the 4th of July ones, I did look up all the stuff I can find in the Lehigh Valley for people to go to, but sometimes I'll be driving. I do have some stuff like in my phone that I'll take pictures of if I'm at a red light or something. I just recently passed a big billboard that says like Pocono's Pumpkin Festival thing, and I took a picture of that so I can make a graphic about that. And it's in September, so I have like plenty of time to make the graphic.
Yeah.
But I'll see stuff like that on billboards, on signs at like stoplights, and I'll just quickly take a picture of it or just remember it, get home, look it up, write it down. And then other times I will look up places as well, but I like knowing where they're at and knowing like where I can find them because it helps me promote it better when I'm more familiar with it.
I feel like the fact that you will, like you said, you're just walking by someplace with your friend and you got that, I think it just shows like that it's like authentic and you're like, oh my gosh, like the average person would love to see this like you did. So that's pretty.
Yeah, I never used to do that. When I'd go out and enjoy the view of places, but I would never actually like pick up on the buildings around me. I just went to go see a movie with my best friend and her boyfriend, and there was like a cute little coffee shop right next to a Rita's that you could go into.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Rita's that's inside.
No, me neither.
They had seating areas and everything. It was cute. But that was the first time I ever saw Rita's you can go inside. So I took a picture of that. And then there's a coffee shop right next to it that was very cute. And I took a picture of that so I could make graphics about it.
Oh,
and like people don't know about these unless they actually go in and see them. If you look up Rita's, you're going to think, oh, there's a Rita's right there. But you're not going to know it's like an indoor Rita's.
Right.
So I think it's pretty cool.
Do you feel like you view the outside world a little differently now that you're in real estate?
I pick up a lot more, and I annoy, anytime anybody's in my car with me, I annoy them about houses I've shown. If we drive past them, I'm like, oh, I showed that house. And it is so beautiful on the inside. I'll tell them all about it. And they're just like, Shaniya, you told me that 2 other times before.
But it's a proud moment, though. Yes. That has to be exciting for you.
And I see so many different unique houses. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've only worked with one client, and I've seen so many different things that I've never seen the house before. Some things I'm like, I don't know why it's there and how it's like more of an inconvenience, but it's so cool to see. And I would definitely buy a house with an inconvenient, weird thing in it.
Sure.
Than like a house that's just like everybody else around
a typical like cookie cutter to have that, you know, unique feel and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I can respect that. To backtrack a little bit, I just realized that I'm asking you about making thing for holiday lights for a real you have a whole season before that though. There's so much you can do for the fall.
Halloween, Thanksgiving. Yes.
I'm sure your mind is just going crazy right now thinking about it as things are starting to roll out.
I have so many pictures on my phone of things I need to make graphics about. And I fill my day up with so many things that like I don't have to. I'll make one graphic in like a day. Maybe it'll take me like a couple days because I'll keep doing something else. And I'm a big procrastinator too. So I'll start on it.
Me too.
I'll have music playing, so I'm not getting distracted by like TV or anything. But then I'll start dancing and singing to the music, so I'm still taking too long.
But it's still fun though. It sounds like you're still making like everything fun about when you're doing it. It's not at this point. It's not dreary or anything like that.
And it makes me feel a lot better because I'm still contributing to my business.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting around waiting for something to happen, I'm putting the work in and still building, my resources and my profile as an agent.
Which is important too, especially somebody who's starting out. I think it's great that you are putting yourself out there and that you are putting the work in, whether or not it's directly in front of, potential clients. You're obviously investing your time to give them the resources, that they may need to help decide where they want to move or, what's going on around them, which I can completely respect and commend you.
I never even thought about that. People can also go in there and see what's in the area that they're thinking of moving in.
Yeah.
And if they see like, oh, I like this, I like that, I like that, so like maybe I'll look at houses there. I never even thought about that. No, so it also helps people choose like maybe that town's better because it has all these other places that they can go to if they live in the town.
No, 100%. I think when you told me before that we met that you wanted to be the resourceful agent, I think you wholeheartedly are in so many aspects, because if you have the highlights, somebody could look at your page and be like, wow, Emmaus, that looks pretty amazing just with everything they have in a small community.
Oh yeah, Emmaus has so much and they're so small. I left my office the one day just to go for a walk, and there was a cute little thrift store that had a whole bunch of antiques and older stuff in it, a bunch of gorgeous jewelry. I saw a crystal tiara and I wanted it so bad. It was so beautiful. And then I know they had I think they had a thing going on in the streets where they blocked off the streets and they had tents set up.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't too sure about what was going on there, but I was trying to get back to the office right away.
No, but it's super helpful for somebody to be able to look at your page and, like I said, find out maybe that would be a place for me to live. Excuse me, not everybody has the knowledge right there readily available for them to get. And I think you're doing phenomenal with wanting to be resourceful. I think that's absolutely. I feel like there can never be too many resources. That's my thought process. Now, before we wrap it up and before we head out, if anybody would like to work with you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
The best way is through phone calls and text messages. I used to never pick up my phone before real estate because of the spam callers and everything. If it wasn't a name of my phone, I didn't pick it up. But now I can't do that because anybody could call me. My friends and family pass out my cards everywhere.
Sure.
So I'll pick up any phone call that comes my way, and I'll answer any text messages unless it seems a little sketchy. Then I'll kind of just let it sit for a minute. But that's the best way to reach me because my Instagram DMs go into requests, and I had a friend reach out asking me about how I got started in real estate, and I didn't see it for 2 weeks because it got put in requests and it didn't tell me there was anything there.
Right. Okay. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, what is your Instagram handle? My
Instagram, it's shaniya.bhgvp, I believe.
Okay.
It stands for my brokerage's name. And then my number is all over my Instagram.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me
me
today. Absolutely. Anytime. I'm sure I'll have you back to see where you are in the next couple of months because I can see a bright future for you for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching Beyond the Closing. This is Lizzie. We'll see you next time.